Hello everyone, welcome. Barb here from barbaderholt.closetomyheart.com. I apologize that I am not going to get this video posted sooner. It will be posting on the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, and it is a Thanksgiving card. I was busy working on my 12 cards of Christmas videos. So on top of my regular Tuesday, Saturday posting schedule, I decided to do 12 cards of Christmas, which started on November 9th, and they are posting every Monday, Wednesday, Friday for 4 weeks. And because of that, this got set aside. But that's okay. I did some ink blending on the back panel here. This is our orange ore paper, and it is beautiful. Try to bring it up closer. If I tip it, maybe you can see it's got a shimmeriness. It's like our black ore paper, really pretty. And I will tell you, when I looked at it in the catalog, I thought it looked like pretty orange paper. I didn't realize it was copper. So it is not orange ore, it's copper ore. And it is lovely and perfect for leaves. I used a retired thin cut set. It was out either last year or the year before, and I love the openness of the leaves. The two background thin cuts here, this one is the multi-square windows thin cut that I've used in many videos, and now we have these other background type thin cuts. Let me show you. Here is the multi-square window, and it's meant to go with, let's see here. Here we go. The geometric grids. So I used the diagonal one here. That's the one that I used, but this is meant to layer on top. You can layer them all three together. That looks really cool. I kept it simple. This is what this particular thin cut looks like. Really pretty, and then you line them up, and of course that's what you get, and that's what I used on my card front. The other thing that I did was a little bit of gold embossing around the edge, and inside I made up a little poem, and I used my Mink to add some foiling. Let me see if I can get that to shimmer. You can kind of see the shimmer when I turn it in the light. So we've got a lot to do here. I did go ahead and cut a lot of the paper, but I wanted to show you, this is my Mink machine. This is the small one. There is a small and a large. I only have the small one, which is about 6 inches wide, because I have a regular laminator, and you can use a regular laminator to add foil to products. So I'm going to turn it on. There's a little button on the back, and then you start pushing the button, and you push it till you get to the number, which means how hot it is. And it blinks red until it's ready to rock and roll. This is the roll of the Heidi Swapp Mink foil that I have. I have had it for 5 years, have not hardly dented the roll. So a little goes a long way. I typed up my little verse, printed it out, and then I put it on our copy machine because you need toner. The foiling melts into the toner when it heats up when it's run through the machine here. So the machine comes with I don't know what they call it. It's like a little clear sleeve that you put your stuff in and you run it through. But I gooped mine up, and you can use a piece of paper, which is what I have here. I just folded it in half, and I'm going to use this as my carrier sheet to run through the machine. Oh, we're green now. That means that it's good to go. And I've got this all in there. I've got my foil on top of the toner, and you want to put it shiny side up. I tried it shiny side down. Try to say that 3 times. Epic fail. Tried it twice, wondering why it wasn't working, and then I realized, ooh, pretty side up. Got it. So you just put it in there. Now I hang on to it I'm not giving any tension. I'm just making sure that it doesn't flop down and the foil shifts in there if I'm not careful. And you have to have enough room on the other side for it to come out. So it's coming out the other side, and I can let go of it now, and it will just feed through on its own. There are other companies that have foil. I know there's Deco Foil, and ThermoWeb has stuff, and so you can find the foil online or in other stores. I think I got mine. I don't know where I got mine. I might have gotten it at Joann or something like that. But it just feeds through. And you open it up. It's a little warm, but not too bad. You pull this off, and there is the shimmery goodness. Let's see if I can get that glint. Isn't that cool? It's so pretty and it's so elegant. So I'm going to turn this off, and I'm going to move it out of the way so we can continue on with our card. I'm going to bring in a piece of scratch paper because we're going to do some ink blending. So I've got my ink blending. I've got an ink blender and some spiced marmalade, another ink blender, and mustard seed. And I think we'll start with the mustard seed. And you just start rubbing. Go about halfway. Pick up some more ink. You can make it as light or as dark as you want. I think I want it to be a little more vibrant, so I'm going to layer that ink on nice and heavy. And then I'm going to turn it around and go for some spiced marmalade. Pick that up and start rubbing. This stuff is so beautiful. It blends beautifully. It goes on so smoothly. Regular distress inks are not near as smooth as this, but there are uses for both. But I love how beautifully creamy the Distress Oxides look. I'm just going over the middle a little bit, giving a little yellow, a little orange, just to blend that out. And I think that looks mighty nice. Look at that. The next thing we're going to do is take our Versamark pad. Ugh, I know, it's filthy, but it works. And I am going to go around the edge. Just gonna get some Versamark ink on the edges because I want to give the edge of this a little bit of a gold, almost a gilded look. So I'm just swiping it on. If you get it other places, it's fine. It might even look better that way. And I've got that on there. And I have our Princess Gold embossing powder, piece of paper that's been folded so there's a crease in the middle. And I'm just spilling it around the edge. Just like that. Spill, spill, spill. Tap, tap, tap. This is a lot thicker than my other one. My other one I forgot to do this until after I had it assembled. So that's why that one looks a little chintzy. We'll set that down, and I am going to pick my paper up, fold it, and funnel all of that embossing powder back into the little container. And then I just have a little bag that I keep all of my basic supplies in. And now we're going to heat this bad boy up. Okay, I love watching that embossing powder melt. I think it's so pretty. Now I have all of the different little pieces ready to go and pre-cut. So I have a little piece of white. This is actually French vanilla. For the inside of the card, it measures 6 by about 4 3/4. This is a card base that I made out of my stash. I don't know where I got it from. I have no idea. I will tell you, I am trying to be true to my goal of using up some of this stuff. This paper has been in this file folder for at least 10 years. So it's time to use it up. It's time to share the love, send it on down the road. And what better way to do that than with a Thanksgiving card, because there is so much to be thankful for. Even when things look glum, you can always find something to be thankful for. So that's it. The inside is done. I just mounted, I trimmed this down and then put a little bit of, I think this is fern, or it's, I don't know, it's a green color paper, sort of close to this, and gave it a little border. Then you have room to write on there. And now the outside, we're going to work on building this. The first thing we're going to do is adhere this to this. So I've got my liquid glue. You can use whatever liquid glue floats your boat. Running a little bit around the edge, and then I will hit all of the, I don't know, if it was a window, and this is the multi-square windows, those would be called grills. So I'm just gonna line these up, and I'll show you what that looks like. It's really neat. Oh, the close to my heart people putting this stuff together, they are spot on, doing a fantastic job. Isn't that cute? Okay, now this just gets mounted right to the front of our inked, embossed panel. And I'm going to put a little bit here in the middle. I'm not trying to hit all the highlights. I'm just kind of spot gluing it. I think that will be good enough. Oh, I like that. I even like it better with it peeking through. That is cool. I am really happy with that. I am going to take a big block, lay it on there so that that'll give it some pressure, because we have some more doodads to take care of. One of the things that I did use that copper ore paper, and isn't that beautiful? And that is in our year-long catalog, so it's available. You can get that. But I wanted the maple leaf to stand proud of the 2 oak leaves. And yes, I do know my trees. I am from northern Wisconsin. We have maples, we have oaks in our yard, and they are beautiful. And these colors that I'm using for this card really capture the beautiful show of color that we get here. We get it, I would say, by the middle of October, the leaves are starting to fall off the trees. But up until then, the color, and this year especially in 2020, with all the going on in the world, this year's color was stunning, just stunning. So I'm stacking up. I have 2 of the maple leaves cut out of the French vanilla, which is the same paper that I used to make the grids. And then I'm putting 1 of the copper ore maple leaves on the top. This will just give a little bit of lift on the front of the card to make it stand out from the 2 oak leaves. Okay, so we've got oak leaf number 1. These are going to go down first because I want that maple leaf on top. And some dabs of glue hitting the highlights. And I want it This little V here, I want to end up in that little grid meeting. I don't know what else you'd call it. Intersection. Yes, that's it. And I'm going to put the other one down the same way on the other side of the card. Again, a little glue here and there, hitting the highlights. And I want this one to do the same thing at about the same height. I want this little branch intersection to lay down in the intersection with my grid. Give that a little bit of pressure. It should be okay. And the same with this. I'm going to put a little glue on the back here and lay it down. And then I will lay the block back on top of it just to give it a little pressure so that it will grab a hold. And this one, I'm just lining that vein of the leaf right in that center grid. I'm going to pop up my Happy Thanksgiving. This is a little piece of our craft cardstock. I cut it out using the little swooshy banner that's a part of the Waterfall Thin Cut set. And I stamped the Happy Thanksgiving from a stamp set in my stash. And I'm going to get some little foam guys here. Somewhere I have scissors, but I don't know where. So we'll grab my big Mondos. I'm going to put the adhesive to the side. And I'll probably do this one too. I want this to straddle over the top of that stem in the middle. It stands a little proud of the card, so we need to leave a little bit of room for that. But I want enough adhesive that this doesn't sag on the card. And let's see, can I get the little backing off? There we go. So I'm going to center it. I'm using the 2 outside grids to give me a little bit of an idea of center, and that's good. I'm good with that. So you can see how that looks. And then I'm going to flip it over, and I am going to pop this up. I love how it looks to, ooh, I need some more popping up stuff. Let's see, what have I got here? Are these the same height? Will these work? They sure will. Yay! I just like using that long stuff because you don't have to fuss around trying to get the backing off. As you can see, I struggle with that sometimes. I don't know. Some days it comes off lickety-split, and other days I really have to work it. And these were just the innards left from a Star Shaker foam and acetate set. Okay. Let's pull this in, make sure that we're facing in the correct direction, and I'm just gonna eyeball it, squish it down, and that is it. Ooh, making things wiggle. That's it. Happy Thanksgiving. I think it's pretty. I think that the cherished people in my life that will be receiving this card will enjoy the prettiness of it. Thank you for stopping by. Have a blessed day. Happy Thanksgiving. And if you want to check out my 12 Cards of Christmas series, Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, they started posting on November 9th, so you can check those out too. and I will see you next time. Bye.